What is up, Soundmakers? Just came up with that name 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I think that we as a music creating group, me and my subscribers, I think we need a group name. In one of my previous videos, a subscriber said that we should call ourselves Zolars. I just came up with Soundmakers. Yeah, just hop in the comments, leave some group names that you think we should call ourselves. The most liked comment might become our group name. Also, be sure to join the Discord. The link is always in the description. I just think that we have such a strong music making community. It's so fun to talk to you on Discord in the comments. Yeah, I think that we need a group name, so let's find one out. So in this video, I'm going to be showing y'all how I mix my vocals in my Dayglow video that I recently posted. A lot of y'all were asking me how I mix my vocals like Dayglow in that video, so I'm just going to be hopping into Ableton and I'm going to be walking you through my mixing process for Dayglow. And before I hop into this video, y'all gotta see this. This came in the mail a few days ago and she is a beauty. I recently got an Ibanez bass. Pearl white finish. Yeah. I'm so excited to start using this in my videos. I've always needed a bass. I've used the Ableton MIDI basses for far too long, so let's make some killer music with this bass.
Just can't seem to hold it. You and I would grow faster than the thought of a good life. Please don't tell me that we're wasting time.
Alright, so here we are in Ableton. Here is my vocal project. So as you know, whenever I record vocals, I start a new project and it helps me save some CPU. So this track is just gonna be the beat if we just solo it. Yeah, so there is the beat, and then it's gonna play out, and then we're gonna get into the first verse. Just gonna be guitar, and then my vocals are gonna come in. So the way I mixed my vocals is I doubled them. That's 3 fingers. I doubled them, and that is basically meaning that I did 2 takes of the same vocal. So as you can see, this track right here, this group, it has 2 tracks, and this is the left group, and then the same group is right here, and it's called right. And the reason I'm doing that is when the vocals come in, you're going to hear one voice right here and one voice right here. And Dayglow loves to do that, and then he also likes to throw delay on there. So I'm going to be getting into that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute this right track, and then I'm going to move this left track to the middle. And we're just gonna solo this, and then let's give a listen. So here is all the plugins that I mixed it with. Let's just turn them off, and be sure to brace your ears because I'm not the best singer. As you can see, I need autotune. We're just gonna listen to the raw vocals.
Days go by when my mind races faster than the pace of time.
And the reason that there are like little chops here and there is because I comped the vocals. So what I did is I just looped this section right here, and then I had the beat going, and then I sang. And then I sang this whole first line, and then it looped back to the beginning, and then I sang it again. And I just had like 4 or 5 different takes of this, and then I chose my favorite takes for each word and phrase. And that's gonna, you know, give you some really good takes when you're recording vocals. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to mute all of these audio effects. The first thing that we're going to throw in here is our auto-tune, because that is necessary in my opinion. And next up is we're going to throw in this low cut. Definitely need a low cut with your vocals. This whole template right here, I'm going to rename it. Actually, the way we rename it is going like this. This whole template is my Zol vocal template. Zol Temple. This is my Zol Temple. This is my Zol vocal template. I throw this in a track whenever I'm recording vocals, and it has all of these audio effects, and then I just tweak them for the specific vocals that I recorded. So I'm just going to be quickly going through this template because you can learn how to make this exact template in my How to Mix Your Vocals video. It's a really in-depth video. I explain the dynamics of recording vocals, of mixing vocals. Yeah, highly recommended video if you have not seen that. If you have, then you already know how these audio effects are working with each other. So next up, we're going to throw in this compressor, another compressor, and then what I usually don't have on my template is overdrive, and this is saturation. And Dayglow likes to throw in some saturation, some distortion into his vocals because it gives you that like 80s tape recorded vocals, and yeah, it's just gonna add that icing on the cake. So this is what our vocals sound like right now without the distortion.
Days go by.
Those compressors are working well, and now we're gonna throw in this overdrive, and as you can see, and as you can tell, this distortion is only 17% wet. It's just gonna be adding that slight distortion on. So we're gonna turn it on.
Days go by.
So there's just a little bit.
My race is faster than.
So there's just a tiny bit of distortion, and if we had it at 100% dry wet, then it would be way too distorted.
Well, my race is faster.
I mean, you can turn it up if you want, but the reason that I have it so low is because at the end of this vocal mixing process, I throw in this pedal, which is another distortion in Ableton, and that's going to be at 23% wet. So both of these distortions together is just going to give you that full Dayglow distorted feel. So next up is the sauce, and if you've seen my mixing video, then you know that this is when I throw in reverb, delay, and as you can tell, there's only 2 reverb tracks right here, and there's no delay. And the reason is because I want a lot of delay, and that is going to be thrown in later in the mix. So now we're going to throw in that reverb. We're going to throw in another compressor, another EQ to take out these lows if they were artificially produced by the audio effects. And then I'm going to be throwing in some Pro Q3, and this is going to be my de-esser. As you can see, my S's hit right here and a little bit right here, so this is dynamic EQ.
Then the pace up.
See, when I said pace,
Then the pace up.
it took off that frequency because my S's are really sharp, so definitely need that de-esser. And if you don't have Pro Q3, in my mixing tutorial, you can learn how to make a de-esser from built-in audio effects from Ableton. And then we're going to throw in this last EQ to boost up these highs, so now our vocals sound like this.
In the pace of time, I just can't seem to hold it.
Now we're going to throw on a little bit more reverb. And as you can tell, there was reverb right here, but it was just a tiny bit. And then we're going to be throwing on a little bit more right here. Let's go over here, 32% wet. So it's actually kind of a lot, but it's just going to be adding reverb on top of all of these audio effects.
You and I were growing faster than the thought of.
That's with the reverb, without it.
You and I.
So it's actually a lot of reverb. Take that back. We're going to turn it on.
You and I.
Just a lot more full.
Growing.
And now we get into the delay. So I'm going to be making a audio effect rack. And the reason I do that is because this is what I usually do when I throw in delay. I like to throw in audio effect racks because I can actually control the delay very specifically. So we're going to create this audio effect rack. I'm going to rename this chain right here dry. So this is the dry chain. What you do is you just create a chain and then you do nothing to it. And this dry chain is just going to be all of these audio effects.
You and I.
As you can tell, you can't hear anything differently because there's no audio effects in here. And then to add the delay, we're going to create a chain. We're going to rename it, call it delay. Let's call it delay 2. And then we're gonna go over here to Ableton's audio effects and we're just gonna throw in the delay. There we go, drag it in. And that's what I did with this chain right here. So I threw in this delay, and let's turn these audio effects off. So let's solo this delay chain.
You and I were growing faster than the thought of.
This is a huge part for Dayglow vocals. So the reason that I have on this audio effect rack is because this delay, it's going to be throwing delay on your vocals, but it's also going to be taking away from the main vocals. So we need to create a separate chain for the dry vocals, which is just the main vocals. So now both of these chains together sounds like this.
You and I were growing fast.
So you can kind of hear that delay, and if we just move this delay chain all the way down in volume, you're not going to hear the delay at all.
You and I were growing faster than.
And then I wanted to throw on some pedal and some chorus to the delayed vocals, not to the main vocals, to the delayed vocals.
You and I were growing faster than the thought.
As you can see, they kind of sound like wavy and stuff, and that's mainly because of this chorus. And if we had it in the dry chain, then it would throw on the wavy chorus to the whole vocals.
You and I.
And I wanted the main vocals to be really solid and not have that waviness, so I only threw it on the delayed vocals.
You and I were growing faster.
And then last but not least, we're gonna throw on our last bit of distortion.
You and I were growing faster than the.
It's just icing on the cake, it's so nice. And then last but not least, we're gonna be throwing on this Pro Q3. And this Pro Q3 is huge. It's gonna be taking away a lot of the highs and also a lot of these lows. And it's gonna be giving these vocals that telephone effect, which Dayglow loves to use in his vocals.
You and I were growing faster.
So without the telephone effect,
You and I
turn it on.
were growing faster than the thought of.
It just makes the vocals a lot more, tame and kind of low key. So that's what our vocals would sound like if they were just smack dab in the middle. But I wanted one on the left and then one on the right. So I did all of that to this left track, and then I went over here and I moved it minus 35. So that's going to be moving it 35 to the left.
You and I were growing.
And then I recorded the same lines, so I'm going to turn on this right track. I recorded the same lines and mixed them the exact same way with these vocals.
You and I were growing faster than.
And that's on your right. And this is on your left. So both of them together, it's going to sound so crisp. One on the left, one on the right.
You and I were growing faster than the thought of a good life. Please don't tell me that we're wasting time. Guess I can't hold my.
Alright, sound makers. Again, do we like that name? Zolars maybe? Let's get some suggestions going in the comments below. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If this video helped you out, be sure to leave a like. Helps me out a lot. Give me suggestions for some more artists for me to cover in these tutorials. Really like making these videos. It helps me, step out of my comfort zone, try to make different kind of music. Yeah. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good time. Follow me on Insta at ProbWiseZol as well. Peace.
This life